And thank you for watching the Playeressence Vidcast, episode number 7. And we have a great episode today. We have a little bit of a short cast here. Dom, Hero, the Impaler is here. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Just to let you guys up to date with the site, we are moving upward. We have new advertisements on our site. If you guys haven't noticed, so we've got some ads on there. Definitely changing things up a bit. I would like to say the GoDaddy ads on there. If you are interested in doing any type of web hosting, starting your own site, anything along that nature, check out the bottom and the footer. We have 22% off on your order. So definitely check that out. That's going to save you a ton of money. Also supporting, and it's also the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So on the sidebar, we do have that .coms for $2.95, you know, things like that. So you're going to get great deals. So if you're interested in doing any type of website or opening up your own business or anything like that, go on GoDaddy, go through our site. You're definitely going to get a good discount. You know, it's going to help us too. It's going to help support the site. So
we wouldn't have none of those ads if it wasn't for you viewers.
Exactly.
So we have to give a special shout out to y'all.
Special shout out, definitely special shout out to the viewers, because this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for you guys coming to the site, you know, watching the vidcast, doing all that stuff like that. So I applaud all of you guys out there, and golf clap for them. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it, because that's what people watch for. So the first bit of news we're going to get into is the GameCube. Remember that system?
Mm-hmm.
Very good, huh?
Super Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers Melee. Well, VG Charts, one of a very popular site, has put up the 10 best-selling GameCube games. Because that's what they do. They usually deal with sales of games. And are you interested to hear the best-selling GameCube?
Sure, let's hear them.
Okay, so the list is pretty good though. Number 1 is, actually, let's go from 10.
Yeah, let's.
Number 10 is Mario Party 4 with 2.47 million units. Number 9 is Pokemon Coliseum with 2.54 million units. Number 8 is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with 2.56 million units. Number 7, Metroid Prime, one of the greatest games of all time in my opinion, with 2.82 million units. Number 6, Animal Crossing, 3.15 million units. Number 5, Luigi's Mansion with 3.6.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Million units. Number 4, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker with 4.60 million units.
That was another good game.
Yeah, that one actually sold more than the because everybody bought the Wii version for Twilight Princess. So.
Very true. Yeah.
Number 3 was Super Mario Sunshine with 6.31 million units.
The only Mario that you hate.
I don't hate it.
He hates Mario Sunshine.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
He doesn't like it.
It's not my favorite. And number 2, Mario Kart Double Dash, which just shout out to Skinny out there. He loves that game. And Skinny, I will beat you in Double Dash. Remember what happened last time. I know you're watching this, and I'll beat you. So that has 6.95 million units. And number 1 at 7.07 million units was Super Smash Bros. Melee. Just to get into a little bit of analysis, we won't spend too much time on this, but these are pretty crappy sales in general.
Well,
compared to the Wii.
Compared to the Wii, yeah.
Yeah, like this is not very good. Like Smash Bros. Like on the Wii destroyed this number of Melee. I mean, I know the Wii sold way more.
Yeah, well, I think the GameCube wasn't really as embraced as the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm honestly gonna say it looks stupid. It just does.
The GameCube?
Yeah.
With the handle?
With the handle.
Well, it's just a cube. So what you get mad at ice cubes, or do you get mad at boxes and stuff that look like rectangles and squares?
It's just that's not a console. A console doesn't. The handle's really good. It's really up there.
The GameCube was the most durable console ever, man.
That's why it had a handle, because you can take it and throw it across the room.
So it was built well then.
No, it wasn't embraced. The thing that I think really tarnished, not really tarnished, but kind of threw the GameCube off was the tiny little discs. The smaller versions of the discs.
It was the storage space. If you want to say like the storage space on there, yeah, because those discs hold less information.
Yeah.
Resident Evil on the GameCube was 2 discs. You know what I'm saying?
Whereas I remember like Lord of the Rings, the Third Age, I believe was 2 discs too.
Yeah, there's a couple 2-disc games on there. I think Tales of Symphonia is also 2 discs. There's definitely some RPGs out there on the GameCube that are 2 discs. Yeah. And I know like on the PS2 and Xbox they're only 1 disc because those can hold more data.
Because they're bigger, obviously.
Yeah, because they're bigger discs. But I think the biggest downfall of the GameCube was just basically the lack of online, because everything was kind of going in that online space, and GameCube just had one game that went online, and just the lack of online was really the downfall of the GameCube. All the console gamers wanted to get online. They wanted to play like Halo.
Yeah, I could just imagine playing Super Smash Bros. Melee online.
Exactly.
Or Mario Kart Double Dash online.
Oh my God, that would have been the best.
If you could have done that, those numbers would have been doubled at least.
Oh yeah, easily.
By easily.
Because you can do that on the Wii, and Mario Kart on the Wii sold like 20-something million, dude. It's like past 25 million or something crazy, because like it's online, it's good. It's actually not crappy online. It's actually good online on the Wii version. So I mean, like, yeah. If you
they got the Wii U that they're going to be bringing all this. Well, not all of it, but some of it back. I mean.
Yeah, Mario Kart should be. I don't even want it. My mind's about to explode thinking about the possibilities of Mario Kart on the Wii U. Don't even get me started.
Me holding the controller.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm just talking about. I mean, there's some interesting. If they bring back like Double Dash, there's some interesting elements, and I actually wrote an article on this. How they should do like co-op. One person uses the screen to aim, and like to shoot items and stuff. And another person uses a pro controller, and then when you switch, you can trade off responsibilities. I think that would create.
Well, I think the screen for shooting might help for when shooting backwards.
Exactly. You can.
But in retrospect, that would, for an online thing, that would kind of suck, because if you got someone that had just the slightest clue of what they were doing shooting backwards, you would get taken out by some of the biggest things, like the special items.
You'd have to balance it. There'd have to be some balancing involved. But I mean, let's be honest, that would be something we'd all want to
that would
play.
be awesome. That'd be the online would never end if you would.
Those are our thoughts on the GameCube. Definitely let us know how you guys feel on the GameCube, because I'm going to be putting more stuff on there, because there is news that the GameCube games will be coming to the Wii U. So that's why I thought I'd bring it up. Alright, and now we're moving on to the next topic here. We have got a confirmation, Dom, of New Super Mario Bros. U running in 1080p on the Wii U, which was surprising because Nintendo did say that all of their launch party games are going to be in 720p, but I guess not.
They say
one thing, they do another.
Yeah, they say one, they do another.
So, you have an HD TV, of course. You have a big one, don't you?
I have one, and I have a 62-inch, but that one's like from 03 or something like that.
Yeah,
so it's not a...
Yeah.
But I do have a Vizio that's, 1080p. It has an HDMI and all that.
Yeah.
Which
is good, because, I mean, 1080p support, for people with big TVs, they want that, because it makes a difference. I have a 47-inch, LED Samsung, and I want that 1080p support. I want the HDMI cable, I want all that. So it's good for Nintendo to come out and confirm that it does 1080p, which is an advantage over, the PS3 360, which pretty much no games do 1080p. I mean, there's very few, and definitely no launch games on the PS3 360 did 1080p. I mean, a lot of them aren't even in 720p. Native. So now, here's the biggest thing, though. Is this in 720p native then upscaled, or is this in native 1080p? Like, which one is it? All they say is that, it could mean either one. They said full Mario in full HD, full 1080p, but that could easily mean, full 1080p upscale, I would like to hear, like, true 1080p, I would like to hear something that defines a little more than just, full 1080,
Yeah, like see that different hairs on his head.
Oh, I mean, on the Xbox, there's stuff that runs. I can say, oh yeah, this is 1080p too. It says 1080p. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I got a little bit more, but hey, it is what it is.
Well, I think as the Wii U nears its launch, we'll find out more information on exactly what that means by.
Dude, it's getting ridiculously close.
Don't get me started, because the closer it gets for you, the farther it gets from me. Reserved.
I'll say this. We live here in Bakersfield, and there's two weathers here. It's hot and cold.
Yep, there is no in between.
There's no in between. So we know when things are coming out, and when it's getting cold here, so we know when awesomeness is coming soon. All right, now we're moving on to sad news, kind of for the people who are into cloud gaming. OnLive has recently sold for $4.8 million to a company called Venture, I'm pretty sure. And Gaikai is also being sued for patent infringement or copyright infringement, something along the lines of that. So this does not look good for the cloud gaming initiative. I remember a few years ago at E3 when they announced this, everybody's like, this is the next wave, this is what people are going to be doing. And now it's not looking so good. So Dom, are you an OnLive user? Have you tried out the service? Do you know anything about it?
The only live I use is Xbox Live.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess this doesn't create really a topic, but I mean, I guess I can say some things. OnLive, I mean, I have it here. It's a cool premise. Being able to not have a console anywhere you go, whether you're on your iPad or on your PC at your friend's house, or if you're on wherever you're at, you can pick up your game library and play it because it's all through online streaming. You know, it's a cool concept, but the problem is that, first of all, the internet speeds aren't fast enough for everybody here.
Yeah, well,
you know, in Japan, this is awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
if you have a very fast pace or very highly HD game, however you want to put it, if you have a crappy internet, then
exactly
you're gonna be 20 minutes just waiting for the main menu.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing Homefront on like 3 megabytes a second, which is crappy, you know, and that thing just looked like a PS2 game, you know. And when I'm here at my house, it's obviously much better.
Yeah,
but it's still not quite up to console level. It's almost there. It's good. It's not.
Well, I think it's a good idea. Just
too early.
Yeah, not really. It's too early. Not very well executed. Yeah. Because I mean, if you could do this with like your older like PS2 or GameCube games or something like that, maybe. You know, if I could put Super Smash Brothers and download it on OnLive and play like that, maybe. Because it's not really a crappy game, but not as good resolution. It's not HD. It's a very, you know...
You know, the issue with this is that there's so many sides pulling from this. Like, I mean, like what you're saying, there actually is something like that. If you go on GameFly, they have their deals where you can, if you subscribe to game, you get a bunch of classic games for free. You know, so that's kind of pulling. They already have kind of stuff like that where you can just download any classic game you want on your hard drive. It's yours as long as you're a GameFly member. You know, so I mean, OnLive, they need to figure out a way, man. They need to figure out a way to make this successful, because $4.8 million is, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? For like
if you got $4.8 million that you don't want no more.
Hey,
my pockets.
I'm not.
But I get what you're saying. And for the higher end levels of the gaming industry, $4.8 million is chump change.
I mean, I remember back in 2002, I wrote an article on this. Definitely check it out. About how Microsoft has ruined Rare. Basically, you remember Rare? They made Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct, all those great games. But anyway, they bought them for $375 million. This was back in 2002. You want to talk about inflation? I mean, Jesus Christ, they bought Rare, and what does Rare do now? They make Connect games. You know what I'm saying? So basically,
well, put it this way: since that happened, I've never heard of Rare because I don't play Connect games. They disappeared off the map from me.
The main thing we're trying to say here is that that's not a lot of money for a gaming company, a gaming service.
However you want to put it.
Bad. That's not. I mean, I think Gaikai. I don't know what the money amount for Gaikai was, but I know it was a lot more than $4.8 million. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely need to do something. The biggest problem, you know, with these online services, you know, is like Steam. Steam is so good. Steam is so awesome. It's like people are like, I don't care about online. I want Steam. I get to keep my games. I download them. I get to keep them. You know what I'm saying? And the service is great. They have all these deals. You know, it's awesome. Whereas like online, it's like you almost feel as if you buy something and it's not really yours. That it's just being stored away somewhere, and when I don't have an internet connection, I can't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing.
I know, like I have some classic games like Mario 3 and Fire Emblem and stuff like that downloaded on my computer, and it's just that internet or no internet, I can just open up the file, open up the ROM, and play.
You don't always have internet connection. Sometimes you go out of town or stuff like that. You want to play a game, you don't have internet connection.
If you're sitting on an airplane, if you're on a bus, whatever, you know.
Yeah. You don't always have internet, and that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest hurdle.
And even if you have internet, if it's not fast enough, you're still gonna be screwed.
Exactly. So until we get personal like device things like USB, like which we do have, like 4G things that connect, that are affordable and that are easy and that are universal. You know what I'm saying?
Which will happen not anytime soon.
Not anytime. At least not here. Maybe in Japan in the next few years, but
not in America.
Yeah, not in America anytime soon. So, or in the UK or anything like that. So until we get something like that, I think these companies are going to suffer. These companies are.
They're just hurting themselves by doing this.
Yeah, oh, I mean, Gaikai got sold to Sony. I think Sony can do a good job with that, because I mean they can offer like Uncharted and stuff like that. So they can offer their first party console games on their cloud service. You know, so I mean that might be good, but OnLive's in trouble. Even when they OnLive is